Peace. They don't get to trivialize what you do. All right? Understand, you have to snatch your power. You don't go to those who have a vested interest in keeping you docile, in making you submit to their ideologies, and say, please, may I have my power? Please give me respect. Please validate me. I think this is one thing that has to be purged in 2022. You hear us talking about coonery. That is like one of the pillars of coonery. Asking those who have a vested interest in your validation and validating you, in giving you worth and assigning you worth and assigning what you do is valuable or not. They don't get to decide. I know some prophets on this that are walking on this earth right now. This is how heavy-minded these individuals are. Some master teachers that are literally giving blueprints for free on how to resolve the woes and the ills of society, advice on how to heal humanity, how to uplift humanity, how to clear the karmic debt of humanity for free via YouTube. Using social media as a medium to do prophetic work, literally prophecy, literally like messengers of God in real time, like walking among us, using social media to do prophetic work. Healers using social media as a medium to give people formulas on how to heal. They don't get to dictate to you your value, your worth. They don't get to trivialize the work that you're here to do on this earth. They don't get that power. I need you to be very clear. Everything that you bring to the table, you must value what you bring to the table. The advice that you give, the wisdom that you give, the gifts that you've been given. You must place a high value and a high priority on those things. They don't get to decide those things. And I would really advise you not to waste your time pointing out the hypocrisy of their mediocrity. Well, why do you get to just sit down and talk about people all day and stay gainfully employed? But you're trying to control the narrative of what wins and what loses? Please don't waste your time. Please don't waste your time. You see, those who are committed and have sworn and given their souls away and invested their lives to manipulation of optics and deceit will never tell you the truth. Never. They will die before they tell you the truth. They are liars in and out. So why are you wasting your time even asking a question to a habitual and committed liar? You must want to get lied to. You got time to waste like that? I certainly don't. I don't go back and forth with them. Once you peep the game, you peep the fact that these people are very committed to a lack of integrity. It's like, what's the point? What's the point of even asking them a question? I'm just going to lie to you. I believe leadership should challenge social norms fearlessly and bravely, question status quos, and the propellers or perpetuators of those who enforce political and social norms, that have come to be widely accepted. An effective leader puts the greatest good for mankind at the forefront of their decisions rather than their own ego. I have to question if one's belief system works for them if they have a fixation on controlling and reshaping the minds of those who don't believe in what they believe. It's perplexing. What do I mean? Well, if who and what you worship and believe, if it works for you, then why would you be so obsessed with making others believe like you? Why wouldn't you just be at peace with believing what you believe? And understand that not everything is for everybody. And be so captivated by the things that you believe in, right? Your priorities, your values, your lifestyle, and all the things that you've attracted into your life, right? The contentment of that should make you have more of a nonchalant, what do they say, laissez-faire, or, peaceful attitude of, well, let you be your way and let me be mine. Sitting back, comfortable, chilling, content, satisfied with the fact that your belief system has brought you everything in this world that you desired. Whether it was monetary gain or political power or power in some kind of way, or a position or assets or material, whatever, what you believed in, you manifested it and it came to fruition. So you should be very calm and very okay with the fact that your belief system worked for you. The way that I analyze it is the minute that somebody becomes a little bit too fixated on the things that you're doing, it raises a red flag. And it puts a highlight on the fact that they don't deeply, truly believe in what they claim to believe in. I have the understanding that you can take people to the well, but you cannot make them drink. And as our culture moves towards a mentality of, it's irrelevant, race, gender, these are illusions, and concepts like race is an illusion and genderlessness, and it's sold to the masses as a contemporary mentality, right? Or anything that challenges this belief system can be seen as antiquated. The notion that we're so beyond this. You're still talking about race in 2022? We're very beyond this at this point. We very much understand that scientifically, yes, there are certain things as far as melanation and what that means, or, discussions of a dominant gene or a recessive gene. But come on now, we've had black presidents, black first lady, black governors, are we still really even on this conversation? Shouldn't we have evolved as human beings and understand that race is an illusion and it's all optics? Come on, guys. This is very antiquated. You should be beyond this conversation at this point. Look at all the black excellence, black power. And you can be anything you want. Be a black millionaire. Be a black billionaire. Own networks. Look at Oprah Winfrey. Look at all these examples of black excellence. Stop it. We are beyond these things at this point. The limitations are strictly mental. The shackles of a lack of liberation are strictly mental, guys. We are beyond this. Come on now. 2022 and you're still talking race? I'm sorry, I don't even really want to associate with these people who are still talking race. We are so beyond this. As a society and as a culture and as humanity, we are so beyond this at this point. Come on. Leave this girl alone. I mean, come on. What is she still talking about? Race? 2022? I have to question. Mass incarceration. Social and economic deprivation. In-depth research of legacies and history. Deprivation that pervades specific communities, not just here on American soil, but globally. if you put your sociologist, anthropologist cap on and just go from a completely neutral space, not being historically lazy or not being committed to any sorts of confirmation bias, but let's just say you just go, you know, and you put your coat on, you go explore the world, and you say, that's interesting. I've been to over 190 countries, and what I've observed is that the more deeply melanated people are the ones that are the poorest. And they're socially on the bottom everywhere I go. Now, sure, there are exceptions, but the general norm is that there are some commonalities between the melanation of one's skin and their social position in life. Are we going to ignore these things and say that we're beyond these conversations and just ignore the blatant? I believe that this was a facade sold to the masses, this idea of being above these kind of conversations, the idea that we are beyond these matters, beyond these issues. And this was a facade to give an illusion or optics of advancement without actually being any recognizable advancements. But remember, the very dark forces are the masters of what? The masters of deceit. But let's rock with this concept for a second, just for argument's sake. Let's do away with race. Let's do away with gender. This would make there not be an allegiance to anyone based off of sex or gender, right? So all that sisterhood, all that would have to go away. Because gender is an illusion, right? There's no women's rights. No, we're genderlessness now. But I'm sorry, excuse me, globally, I'm sorry, women are still receiving like 75% of what men were receiving, paycheck-wise, and you know, we have almost 50% women and almost 50% men globally, but you know, for whatever reason, men have all these positions of power all over the world, and you know, there's such an imbalance as far as women leadership. But no, we're genderless. This is archaic. Stop complaining about getting paid less than men. Just stop it. Now you're using the woman card. I mean, I'm sorry, you know, it just seems like women are calling more into cops and suffering domestic violence at alarming rates, spousal abuse at alarming rates, rapes at alarming rates, way higher than men. Now you're using the women card. We are genderless here. There's no inadequacies. You're making this up, okay? But all we see are male leaders. You are making this up. We have moved beyond this discussion of gender. Just stop. Just stop with the complaining and the whining. And getting together and talking about inadequacies and talking about how you're shorted. Stop it. Just stop it. You're using the woman card. This is feminist bullshit. This is feminist rhetoric. Just stop it. Because we're genderless. This is what we've moved towards. When discussing leadership, could we potentially end up, hypothetically speaking, with an all-male dominated society? No, societies with an S. Because globally, we're genderless. And we are exclusively selecting those based on leadership qualities, not factoring in gender. So if men happen to exhibit the qualities that we are most, find most suitable for the job, then all civilization should be governed by men. There's no idea of you're going to get selected because, no, you don't get any points for that. You don't get any points because you're a woman. You exemplified qualities that were not suitable for the job. The man did. He gets it. Because we're genderless. So now we have all civilizations being governed by men. The Me Too movement was a movement that I didn't thoroughly investigate, but the perks that women received receive for being seen as a group that needs protection, and frankly, a group that men want to sleep with, we'd have to do away with that too, ladies. Any advantages, any perks that you get from your sexuality, from your beauty, from men wanting to sleep with you, all of that has to go away because we're genderless. Now, generally speaking, I've found that many women want the perks of being a woman, but don't want to deal with the male domination and what that entails. And I'm uncertain if women get to have it both ways. Moving towards genderlessness means that women would have to be looked at as men, including a avoidance of moral character. And the reality that women can be just as devious as men must be looked at from a candid perspective. I said the reality that women can be just as devious and morally defective as men must be looked at from a candid perspective. So no, a woman is not fit to lead if she is unwilling to challenge social norms, political structures, and operate in an integral fashion. I've been dealing personally with less racism and bigotry, sexism and misogyny, and more with morality. But we have to understand that these isms and schisms are also tied into moral depletion. The idea that you would treat somebody differently because of whatever it is, their social status or income or their race or their gender or anything like that, it signifies a level of moral and character defect, which is tied into racism and sexism and all these things. But it's a moral defect. It's a character defect. It's people who are void of any moral compass and what they're willing to do with that. Their attempt to lure me into their game is ego-based. It has very little to do with me, and it's all about the fragility of their egos and the moral deplorableness of it all, of these individuals being very morally deplorable. And in this game, which I refuse to play because I don't respect the game, where 1 million people can gang up against one person, whatever it takes, however many people it takes. I don't respect these things. The things that I stand for, I don't respect that. I don't get down with that. I'm not playing that game because my participation in the game would mean that I actually have to respect the way that the game is played. And when I understand that people can just move the goalpost if they want to, they can say, hey, these are the rules of how you win. And then they can say, you know what, we don't want to uphold those things. Yeah, whatever. We said that, but, we lie. That's what we do. So I don't respect that. And so I'm not playing a game. It's one of those things where, I understand with the laws of Ma'at that you should not hold yourself up on a pedestal, but at the same time, I do have certain standards that I abide by. And I say I just don't respect such a commitment to a lack of integrity, such moral and character defects that I'm not playing that game with you. I'm not wasting my time playing a game or entangling myself with liars, just liars. A win to them means that the system that they're invested in serves them. No matter how unjust, illegal, and immoral, they need confirmation that the corruption of the system that they're invested in, that they're indoctrinated into, that they follow the rules by, serves them. Laws of Ma'at require that one's heart is lighter than a feather. The laws of Ma'at. I have not committed sin. I have not committed robbery with violence. I have not stolen. I have not slain men and women. I have not stolen food. I have not swindled offerings. I have not stolen from God. I have not told lies. I have not carried away food. I have not cursed. I have not closed my ears to truth. I have not committed adultery. I have not made anyone cry. I have not felt sorrow without reason. I have not assaulted anyone. I am not deceitful. I have not stolen anyone's land. I have not been an eavesdropper. I have not falsely accused anyone. I have not been angry without reason. I have not seduced anyone's wife or husband. I have not polluted myself. I have not terrorized anyone. I have not disobeyed the law. I have not been excessively angry. I have not cursed God. I have not behaved with violence. I have not caused disruption of peace. I have not acted hastily or without thought. I have not overstepped my boundaries of concern. I have not exaggerated my words when speaking. I have not worked evil. I have not used evil thoughts, words, or deeds. I have not polluted the water. I have not spoken angrily or arrogantly. I have not cursed anyone in thought, word, or deed. I have not placed myself on a pedestal. I have not stolen that which belongs to God. I have not stolen or disrespected the deceased. I have not taken food from a child. I have not acted with insolence. I have not destroyed property belonging to God. You see, these people are so disrespectful and nothing is sacred to them that they see you pray and they see you worship and they don't believe in what you believe in. So disrespectful, you'll be in sajda, invoking the guidance of your Lord, of your Creator, invoking the guidance of your Lord, of your Creator, opening your heart, your mind, your body, your soul to the wisdom of your Creator, meditating, asking for everything required to step up to your calling from your Creator. In sacred worship. And they're so disrespectful. Nothing is sacred to them. They're trying to distract you while you're in worship. Wicked. 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 And then they laugh. Oh, we don't believe in anything that they believe in. They're dumb. We're smart. I don't know who said this woman was an intellectual because, you know, they're sounding real crazy, very dismissive. All this because they're desperate to cling on to their belief system and their inflated egos. The notion that both of us can't be right. So somebody has to be wrong. And rather than just seeing things as is, now I have to manipulate and tarnish and taint your fate just to prove you're wrong. I have to manipulate optics just to prove you're wrong. This is a battle of the egos, very unskillful egos. This is a battle that I don't show up to. These are games that I don't play. These are entities that I don't entangle myself with. A lot of people look at Muslims as arrogant when it says, don't mix with the kafirs. The Quran says, don't mix with the disbelievers. Don't mix with the kafirs. Because Allah knew that it's no rest for the wicked. It is nearly impossible for those who have sold their souls to live and let live. It is impossible for them to operate in a space that's cohesive and harmonious with humanity. It's just how they're wired. And this is their legacy. Trail of Tears and the Native Americans. People were like, yeah, we got more than enough. Come through, come chill. We got food, we got gold, we got this, we got resources. It's a spirit within them that says that they can't operate from a harmonious place. They have to govern. They have to dominate. They have to control. They have to dictate. And so with Allah understanding this, right, and we can look at centuries of legacies of this behavior, he said, just don't mix with them. Because your freedom, your liberation, your peace, that's not in their equation. It's so much not in their equation that you asking them to operate in a cohesive manner, in a harmonious manner, in a non-oppressive fashion, in a manner where they live and let live and don't feel any particular need to govern another human being, is like asking them to like go against their nature. This is really their nature. That's why Allah said, don't mix with the kafirs. Don't even talk with them. Allah said, don't mix with the kafirs. Don't even talk with them. Don't chill with them. Don't hang with them. Don't eat with them. Don't sleep with them. Don't mix with them. And people look at this as arrogance, but I think it's preservation. If you know that bringing certain people into your home, bringing certain people into your space, bringing certain people into your energy is only going to result in them acting in their nature, their intrinsic nature, which is to kill, steal, destroy, dominate by any means necessary with no moral jurisdiction, to win ruthlessly, void of any sense of morality. Why even enter into their game? Why even mix with them? And we could be historically lazy, or we could point out the couple of people who didn't do those things and applaud them and whatnot. But if we're going to put our sociologist, anthropologist hat on, we have to really examine what the legacy is and what they have been consistent in. You go to a creditor, you get a loan from a bank. What are they going to do? They're going to check your past spending habits. How credible are you? Am I going to give you this loan if you've shown yourself to be fiscally irresponsible? Am I going to give you the benefit of the doubt if you've shown yourself to be morally irresponsible? Socially irresponsible. Character depleted consistently. I damn sure I'm not going to follow your rules of what a win is. I'm damn sure I'm not going to look for your validation or your credibility or anything of that nature. I damn sure I'm not going to allow you to govern me or dictate to me what is and what is not. Define what a win is. Because you think you're winning by your commitment to humiliating people, destroying lives, ruining people. You think that that's a win. But the question is, why aren't you cool with just being the people that you are? Why do you feel so fixated and obsessed with having to make people believe like you and think like you and discredit anything that's not you? What they fail to understand is the stupidity of the mistakes that they make. They're becoming liabilities, and they've been liabilities. They've been liabilities to the planet. They've been liabilities to the success of the planet. They've been liabilities to the human beings. If we understand, okay, well, this world is not what it should be. We have various crises, water shortages and clean water deficits, drug addictions, and all of these things. Well, who governed this? Who's responsible? We are collectively responsible. Okay, yes, that's true. We are collectively responsible. We are collectively responsible. We got to take accountability for that. But leadership-wise, can we investigate? Who's led us to this society of heartlessness, a lack of compassion, wickedness, and lack of care for one another? Okay, why do these people feel like they still have the ability to govern and reign when they've been so irresponsible with their governance and with their reign? And we can see the results of this in humanity. What makes them feel as if they still have the power when they've led us to destruction? Unskillful egos, lying on people, lies and the lies and the lies and the lies. Oh, the lies. I've never witnessed people who tell more lies than they tell the truth. Every time they open their mouth is a lie. Every time, every time, every time, every time, every time. They're incapable. I'm convinced it's a spirit that resides inside of them. It's a spirit of deceit. They are incapable. They are incapable of being truth tellers. And my job as a truth teller is the reason why I say I just don't even talk to them. I don't even relate to them. I don't even converse with them. I don't even share ideas with them. Because the basis, the core of what I stand for is the truth, and the core of what you stand for is deceit. So there is a big time issue with us communicating, because I know that I'm not going to get a straight answer from you. So why am I wasting my time? I don't have time to waste with a bunch of liars. And if one has to lie or assassinate one's character, what does that mean? That means that the truth of who that person is something that you can't stomach. A lie or a slanderous remark doesn't take away from that person who they actually factually are. It's basically saying, like, that person's so amazing, they're so dope that the truth is unbearable. That's why we have to lie. If we really told you the truth about this person, you would have tremendous respect for them. But a lie, no matter how many mouths it's repeated from and how widespread it is still a lie, is still a lie, is still a lie. And the liars will suffer spiritual infractions, spiritual consequences for repeating lies. And I don't know, I didn't know, I just repeated a lie. Lackadaisically will not be sufficient when it comes for the punishment that gets rained down on you. And it's I'm very committed to these people getting punishment, not because I'm so vengeful. I put vengeance in the hand of the Most High, the God that I serve, the Avenger. But it is imperative for our children to see a display of the consequences of wickedness. It is imperative for people to see a very blatant, overt, humiliating, degrading, very dark punishment. The loss of everything. The money that they worship, the material goods that they worship, their reputation, all their lies get exposed, the things that they do to maintain and obtain their wealth, all of that has to come to the forefront, because it's not just about me. We need to tell the children there's no bargain in this. The veil must be lifted. The curse of the illusion must be broken for the sake of those who we are molding to become our future leaders. The children who will be built up to lead with the pillar of integrity, with the pillar of righteousness, with the pillars of ma'at. The real leaders, the dignified, the respectable, and the honorable. It is imperative and absolutely a necessity that the liars, the wolves in sheep's clothes, the masterminds of deceit get exposed in the most horrific fashion for the children to see, this is what happens. This is what happens when you lie. This is the consequence of a lack of morality. This is the consequence of indecency. This is the consequence of a lack of integrity. This is the consequence of a void of moral consciousness. This is a consequence of the abandonment of your Creator. This is the consequence of a lack of gratitude. The Creator who gave us everything, abundance and land and food and vegetation and fruit. The audacity of people to be replicating the Creator and not giving credit to the Creator at the same damn time. So this is what happens when they get destroyed. We are building future leaders. And the backbone of their leadership will be righteousness. It will be truth, and it will be honor. They lie, they lie, they lie, they lie, they lie. You got a person working out relentlessly. They don't drink, they don't smoke, they don't use drugs, they don't even eat bread. They don't even eat meat or dairy. Pray all the time and just exercise. Oh, let's just lie and say that they're on drugs. Why? Oh, we don't want them to get respect or credit. That person's still the... Amazing. I was going to say something else, but my aunt said, try not to curse so much. That person's still really, really dope. Very disciplined. A lie doesn't make it so. You tampering with optics doesn't make it so. Doesn't make that person not a mastermind, not a genius, not brilliant, not extremely disciplined, not a chosen one of God. Your manipulation of the optics does not make it so. And God willing, that person's validation is exclusively coming from God and from themselves. That they will still exemplify extreme confidence no matter the manipulation of the optics. But people by nature, especially Americans, they're going to be self-interested. Okay, Kenza, this is cool or whatever, but like, is that your role? Like, you're going to step up to the archetype and be the poor, righteous teacher? Is that like really what you're going to do? Because, you know, America, we're material. We need to see results, okay? And right now, it's looking like the evil is winning to us, all right? We like the glittery distractions. That's what we like. This is America. We like the optics. We like the devil in disguise. We like the she-devil. Big booty and big breasts. Voluptuous and beautiful. And she could have the worst intentions for us. But this is America. It's about the illusion. So what, is that your archetype? You're going to be the poor righteous teacher? Get out of here. Nobody's listening to you. Kick rocks. What's in it for us? Yeah. You're talking this righteousness. What's in it for us? We don't see that. Optics-wise, we don't see that. We see the evil winning, the evil people winning. Women flaunting this and flaunting that to get what they want. People lying to get what they want, positions of power. That's what we see. I don't think they're winning. They don't think they're winning. They may think they're winning, actually, because a lot of times they're so deceitful that they lie to themselves. But deep down, when the chicken comes home to roost and you have asked people to renounce Minister Farrakhan and you've asked people to renounce the truth tellers, why? When you should be thanking the truth tellers who have given you the blueprint on how to chip away at your karmic debt. You don't think that all this stuff, you don't think that your kids being addicts? Look your kids in the eyes and try to have a conversation with some of these kids, some of these children. First thing you do in the morning is you pop a pill. Numb yourself from yourself. Escape yourself from yourself. Why do you need to escape yourself from yourself? Why do you need to run from yourself? Why? Why are you on drugs? Why are you high all the time? Why are you coked up? Why are you drunk? You're not truly heartless. You need the assistance of narcotics to not be able to tap into your heart, because every single human being has a heart. You give no love, you get no love. We don't care, we're heartless, we're cold, we don't care about them, we're cruel, we're mean-spirited, yeah. They make it seem like that's cool. Okay, but you got no love. No one's gonna love you because you don't bring love to the table. You know how you feel. You know how you truly, truly feel about who you are. It doesn't serve them. It never has. It doesn't currently serve them, and it never will. They are full of symptoms of unwellness, psychological and physical unwellness. It's very evident and it's very obvious. And what they want to do is they want to give you psychoses and unwellness because they want you to share their misery. But what they fail to understand is that it was their actions that gave them this misery. The power that you sought, these political positions, the money, the wealth, all of these things that were important to you, and the things that you did to obtain these things that you prioritized, was your free will. You use your free will to sell your soul, which is your own, which you are actually factually allowed to do. And you reap the consequences of that. Consequences being negative, consequences being positive, despite the connotation of negativity of consequences. No, consequences are positive and negative. So if material gain was your priority and you did what you had to do for that, then you reaped what you sowed, right? Love wasn't a priority. Truth wasn't a priority. All of these things. Feeling good wasn't a priority. I'll be damned if you try to make us share the consequences, the negative ones, of the decisions that you made. You don't get to dictate to us how we feel. You don't get to tell us, you don't govern us to tell us how we should feel and how we shouldn't feel. Oh, we're in the midst of a pandemic. You're just taking this too seriously. You're not taking this seriously enough. We're in the midst of a global pandemic. They're over here dancing and singing and da-da-da. And they're making jokes. How dare they? Time out, time out, time out, time out, time out, time out, time out. You don't get to tell me what I do with my time now. You don't get to tell me how jovial I should feel now. You don't get to tell me what I can and can't laugh at. And I promise you, all 2022, I am going to be jonesing. I'm going to be laughing. I'm going to be laughing. I'm going to be dancing. I'm going to be having a blast this year. That is one of my oaths to myself. Because knowing the scale of ma'at, which requires lightheartedness, and knowing how desperate these people who are in deep misery, deep grief, and deep sorrow are committed to executing your grief, your sorrow, even though you didn't do what they did to earn that grief and that sorrow. All they do is lie, steal, kill, destroy. They very well earn that grief and sorrow. They don't earn much in life as much as they steal, but they definitely earned the way that they feel. Honestly, probably the only thing that they've honestly earned in life is the misery that they feel. I didn't do those things to feel that way. You don't get to tell me how heavy-hearted or how light-hearted I should be. In order to enter paradise, you have to be childlike. The scale of ma'at requires your heart be as lighter than a feather. What is lightheartedness? It's not taking life too seriously. It's laughing a lot. Simple pleasures, simple joys of life. A childlike innocence. Letting things go. A forgiving and kind heart. Compassion. Taqwa, God consciousness. Leaving it up to God. The belief in God is that I'm here to assist you. What you want taking, you see, a lot of the people, they're absent of God has not served them because they take everything on themselves. They believe they are God and they've done a piss poor job playing God. So that means that they have to take everything on themselves. When God is like, I've always been here for you. I'm your best friend. I'm Al-Wali. I'm your best friend. I am your companion. Walk with me. Talk with me. I am your friend. Confide in me. Console in me. Trust in me. Put your faith in me. I got your back. You don't have to take on the woes of this world like this and get your energy all contaminated in the grief and the sorrow because there's so much. The past 2 years, the attack, the spiritual attack that has come upon our lives with this plague. In the Psalm, it says the plague of midday. This is the plague. In the Psalm prayer, this is what we're experiencing, this plague. But what does it also say? You will not fear the plague that occurs at midday. You will not fear that. For I am here For I, Father God, am here. For I, your Lord and Savior, am here to assist you in this journey of life, because it can be very begrudging. It can be very hard. It can be very trying, very testing. You can come against many forces, persecution. You can come against slander. You can come against attack on your love life. You can come against attack of your heart. You can come against spiritual attacks of your psyche, of your mind. People trying to mind control you, and attack on your family, and attack on your finances. There's a lot of grief that these very dark, sinister forces try to orchestrate in your life. They will orchestrate your misery. They will send people, agents of Shaitan, to come in and arise the feeling of love and companionship. But their sole objective was to break your heart, was to riddle you with grief, was to make you feel like they feel. Their sole objective was to reject you, to make you feel low, to make you feel bad, to play into your sorrow, your grief, your hurt, your pain. Victimize you so you would only gravitate towards victimizing experiences. They want you to feel like them. So you say, Lord, Father God, I'm only a human being. And this is where humility comes into the equation. Father God says, don't worry. Laugh it up. Dance it up. Jubilee it up. Celebrate life it up. Have a light heart, because I am here to take away your woes. I'm here to be your best friend. I fight for you. Just confide in me. Just trust me. Just put your faith in me. You'll be fine. And that's why we have peace, the chosen ones. So I ask, specifically the children, a child who may stumble upon this video, is you may see the glitz and the glam of some of these people who, optics, it appears like they're winning, but guess what? What good is material gain in a world with you have no peace and no joy? And furthermore, the perpetuators of all of these things, because of their legacy, what they also have to lose is the fact that nobody trusts them. So we're over here, we're creating music, we're doing what we love, we're stepping up to our purpose, our calling, we're having fun, we're cracking jokes. They want to be a part of the party, but when the party starts, everything stops. Like, ah! Who invited him? Who invited her? Now, I need to know who invited him or who invited her, because not only are they uninvited, but you're uninvited too. Why are you bringing people who kill, steal, destroy, and steal into our atmosphere when we know their legacy is only to leech? They have shown nothing about our social advancement, our economic empowerment. They've only shown to be thieves, stealing our creativity, trying to steal our joy, trying to leech off of us, trying to damage our self-esteem, our egos, our confidence, trying to do all kinds of weird things and sick things and perverted things to our women, our children. Who invited them? Until you change your behavior, you will always be seen in this light. So you can say, I don't care, I'm a girl, I don't care. But just know that when you get excluded from certain spaces, this is the reason why. So what good is life without truth and without love, without genuineness and without honesty? And there's no reason. You could wake up to luxury, but if there's no peace within, then what is it all worth? Anyways, y'all, it's the first week of the new year. Happy, happy, happy new year. We're joking it up. We're laughing it up this year. We're partying all year. Peace.